Welcome to Coffee with Blaine. Coffee, Blaine. Yeah. So you may ask yourselves, why are you online right now? You were just online yesterday. And I would respond to you by boredom. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man? Yeah, so I'm just drinking my coffee, and I've been sitting here for the first time in a minute. So I wanted to have some coffee with some friends, chat about some stuff. Good morning, Megan. How you doing? How is your day going? Jennifer, good morning. Drinking reverb and distortion. I see. Yeah, I do get the reverb on here, don't I? Should probably turn that off. That's better. I've been at work. Nice. Get it. Been jamming out to the new Metallica tune today. Just got such a cool riff, and it's such a pain in the ass to play, like most Metallica riffs. It's got this like, kind of got to use the same finger or two fingers. It's just an awkward. Such a weird riff, but it sounds so cool. And they use all downstrokes when they play, so it's even more awkward. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just goofing around today, so, this isn't important. You're not going to miss anything. I do love the tone. And I love the fact that I don't need to mic a speaker and have it be super loud in the room. It's only in my headphones and in your ears. But my guitar speaker is not even on. I'm running my amp into my Cab Clone IR right into the interface, which is awesome. Oh, thanks, Sarah, and good morning. Weege is on Twitch. Getting it on Twitch. So I did have a couple things I might as well do. I think that was the initial reason that I decided to get on this platform. And that is I have some mail. Mail time. Did any of you ever watch Blue's Clues back in the day? It's okay, I'll wait. No, I'm definitely dating myself now. I used to watch Blue's Clues all the time back in the day. Both. But the prominent guitar, I believe, is James's. And then Kirk kind of plays it and then gets in and out of it with some other licks. Yeah. It's such a fat tune, man. Such a fat tune. Good morning, Jesse. Yeah, I actually like Blue's Clues. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. Great concept. I think Dora is kind of similar now. Yeah, all down strokes with the picking. So, and he's picking faster than most people can pick going down up. which is normally twice as fast as you can pick just going down. But yeah, it rocks. Paul, good morning. How you doing? Hopefully well. Yeah, so let's open some mail, shall we? I'm not gonna put any names on these, but some mail has been kind of pouring in over the course of I don't know, me being gone. Nice, back to work. Aaron, good morning, sir. Fan of the downstroke, right? Who made the cool yoga logo on your home screen? That's a good question. And Samantha, good morning. The logo was I don't remember his name, but he does a bunch of designs for Hyrie merch. A bunch of cool. I think he draws them out by hand. But yeah, super dope. Makes me want to wail. All right, what do we got here? We got a little book. Maybe. Yeah, it is a little book. Just a little guy. Oh, it's in its own little. Oh, this looks fancy. It's textured. You know, it's a good book when it's textured. It's annoying that I'm saying textured went wrong. Kaylin, good morning. So this book is called The Alchemist. Have any of you ever read The Alchemist? Oh, even the pages are textured. It's super nice. Yeah. To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. That's super cool. There's a sticker inside, it looks like. It's a love sticker. That's super cool. I'm pretty excited. Have not read it, but have heard of it. Heck yeah. Yeah, this is the 25th anniversary edition. Yeah, the sticker was dope, right? This is super cool. I've been getting back into reading. I got a Jessica. Good morning. I got a book from Christy's mother when they came to visit. How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is a very weird title, but it's basically just a book written in the 1930s about how to like communicate better with people. But yeah, so I'm actually halfway through that. I took that to Mexico. I was reading it by the pool. I was reading it in the pool, and I was reading it on the flights there and back, which was great. But now I have my next book. I'm excited. I like books. Books are great. Thank you for the wonderful Christmas gift. Candace, good morning. Let me see my new book. It's awesome. Lauren, good morning. Good morning. And then I have a box with a couple other stuff. How was the festival? It was small but mighty. It was all vibes. It was so much fun. These dogs are not having a good day. That's all they've been doing is barking today. All right, let me drag this other box out here. I have this thing where I like to dress up for the gym, even though I don't never go, in hopes that it will spur me to go. I believe that it's going to become an annual thing, so I believe they're going to throw it next year. So be on the lookout for tickets for that. What do you got going on for Christmas? I'm going to go up to San Francisco and hang out with my aunt and uncle and cousins. do that pretty much every year. My favorite part was the late night jam session. Yeah, Aaron, that was fun. We were pulling out some old school jams. It was awesome. Yeah, silly dogs. No, I don't want to go play with the dogs. They're doing just fine without me. Gym proof, huh, Candace? Yeah, I got a couple really dope gifts and a couple packages that I've already kind of skimmed through. Morning, bro. How you doing, Patrick? It's a Brita filtered water bottle. Super nice. Thank you. We got some just little things like beef jerky. Cool little flash drive. But it's like an iPhone flash drive. USB and Lightning. That's freaking cool. And a power brick, which is awesome. This must be all tour stuff. You guys are too kind. And all the different plug types, charging port. It looks like you can go for international traveling. It's got type E/F, type G, type C, type B, type 1. It's pretty cool. Thank you. And just a couple little things. I don't know what this box is. I like your gear. Jacob, good morning. Got to feed my corn snakes on Sunday. How'd that go, Paul? These are just face and body wipes, which is awesome. When you're in a bunk and you don't get a shower, or you only get a shower once, yeah, that wipe down is awesome. Thank you guys. I got a book, I got a flash drive, I got all sorts of stuff. It's like Christmas come early. I appreciate you all, but never feel obligated to get me anything. It's almost too much. To you guys who sent some stuff. Thank you. I am really excited to read my book. I'm in such a book mood, I think. I forgot how awesome reading is because it's been too long. Jacob, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just recovering from Mexico. Tammy, good morning. A mocha pot for Christmas. Nice, Weege. Nice. No doubt lifesaver, right? In those tiny bunks. Yeah, it's a coffin life. And then I shove a lot of my stuff in there. So I'm actually, half the bunk is kind of taken up with stuff. It's ridiculous. Megan, I appreciate you always showing up. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Even though you're at work, it's so super awesome. Lauren, what are you reading, bro? What are you reading? Yeah. When are you going to try to squeeze in it with me, Weege? That's the real question. For content. Jesse, Fahrenheit 451 and Phantom Toll Booth are some of my favorites. I've heard really good things about the Phantom Toll Booth, but I have not read it. So that's going to be on my list, and I will promptly forget. Tammy, my homie, gets to see you in Hawaii. Oh, okay. Oh, comment, shout out. In Honolulu, excited to get some great shows in January. Heck yeah. I just woke up to a show offer. And it's going to be fun. But it's not even close to being announced yet, I don't think, because it's in November. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I will tell you it's nowhere close to where I'm at right now. Jacob, I'm sure that was an amazing time. I also use no rinse shampoo and soap if you don't have water access. Huh. I never even thought about that. That's kind of fancy. Jennifer, enjoy your day, Megan. Yay, Megan. Lauren, Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah, that was the last book I read, actually. Once you can get past the little bits of low-key racism, there's really good content in the book. It's an awesome book. It's an awesome read. Very informative. Also written, I think, in the 20s, maybe in the early 30s. Scott, good morning. Good morning to you. Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code series. Yeah, heck yeah. Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Nice, nice. So you're into the story for reading. I like that. The mysteries. I wonder what The Alchemist is. The description on the book isn't very descriptive. Da Vinci Code is better book than the films. I never read the book, so I definitely wouldn't know. But I'm assuming you can get into a lot more description with a book than you can with a film in general. That's why comic books films sucked for so long. It's a great book. The Alchemist is one that stuck with me ever since I read it. Oh, nice, Jacob. Is it like Siddhartha, where it like follows a journey of self-discovery, or is it like is there like a story that like Proverbs, or something like that go in and use the story to convey the ideas, or is it just a story, like a hero's journey, if you will, or is it like more of like just like a breakdown of a concept or concepts? Hi, Lindsay. How are you, Lindsay? Books are usually way better than movies. Yeah, but Tom Hanks isn't in my book, yo. I did not enjoy reading Siddhartha. No, I love that book. I have a copy actually somewhere. It's probably upstairs. That was a book I read multiple times. I thought it was cool. But everyone has their differences, and depending on when you read it, if you read it for school, like you had to read it, it's probably different than reading it because you want to. I didn't like reading Of Mice and Men when I was in school, and then I read it later, not being forced. It was much better, and I like that book. Mexican Gothic. If you're into quirky humor, it's a great read, and it's very Guillermo del Toro. Toresque. Nice. Animal Farm meant something different every time I read it. Hell yeah. I remember that. In 1984, I dug that book as well. Yeah, it's super short. Super fucking sad too. Ugh. The human condition, man. I still can't read Where the Red Fern Grows. It's too heartbreaking. I never cared for any required school reading. I went back and reread The Great Gatsby. Yeah, that one book is just always weird to me. I mean, I get it. Yeah, it just never vibed with me reading it. I didn't. I think I read it for school, or I just noted it for school. But yeah. Jordan, good morning. DK, good morning. You should be running errands, DK. What books did I read that I'm really attached to? Catch 22 is probably one of my all-time favorite books. I did not read that one for school, and I freaking love that book. The collected works of Florence Scovel Shinn will take your mind for a ride. Hell yeah, Lauren. That sounds dense. Good morning, Cassie. Cassie, look, somebody got me this book. I said I'm not going to say who got me any of these gifts because I don't know if they want to remain anonymous, but I'm just sharing people. This really cool, really bumpy. I feel like it's almost like Braille is embedded in here. It's so cool. I like it. All the characters in Gatsby are terrible people. Yeah, I feel like The Great Gatsby was Seinfeld before Seinfeld, or Always Sunny. I wonder if there's some inspiration there. The Giver was great growing up. I've never even heard of that, but I'm sure it's great. The Wonderall is a great one. Saw the notification you were going live. Yeah, I was just drinking coffee and I was sitting here and I was just playing this Metallica riff. And I was like, I should go live. That was my thinking. Let's see. Yeah, right. I'm excited. That's gonna be my next read. But yeah, Catch 22, I think, is arguably in my top 5 books. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is probably my top book that's fiction. And I put fiction in quotation marks because I feel like it uses the story as a veiled social commentary, kind of like why I dig like a lot of the books that I like. How did you get back into reading? That's a great question, Patrick. I just was finding topics I've been intrigued with, and I've been like more into the nonfiction books or thinly veiled fiction. So the last book I read was at the beginning of the year, end of last year, Richest Man in Babylon, which uses a bunch of stories. It's written in the 1930s, but it uses stories from ancient Babylon to convey good financial habits, which is kind of cool. And then I just for Thanksgiving got a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, basically about how to do business and how to better your social interactions with people, which I'm very awkward, so it's very helpful. I'm not trying to influence people or steal friends or whatever. It's a weirdly titled book, but the content in it is good. But yeah, so now that I've been reading, I'm like, I like this. I like not having the backlight of my phone. I like not having information come to me where I actually have to like dive in a little bit. Yeah, so I'm excited to check out The Alchemist. Yeah, Siddhartha, I really like that. I think my arguably even more than Hitchhiker's Guide, my favorite book is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which is another book on basically spirituality and psychology and all that, with a thinly veiled story about a guy cruising on his motorcycle with his kid. That one, I've read that. That's probably the book I've read the most. I really like it. Weege, help me decide. 6-cup mocha pot with 2 stainless steel mugs by Coffee Gator, or classic time mocha pot. I mean, if they both review well, like, which one looks cooler? Because I mean, they're the same thing. I think I have a mocha pot, actually. It's the stainless steel one that goes on the burner, right? Replying to Cassie, safe travels, have fun. If you see my crew, tell them hi and I miss them. Jacob, reading is nerdy, but gotta have a little nerd in your life. That is true. I have a little nerd in me. Yeah. Things that you say that sound weird. Coffee station at the doctor's office. Nice. Hopefully it's not awful. Oh, actually, I was just playing the riff, Patrick. It's dope. I like it a lot, actually. Very, very got that old school sound, but like newer, if that makes sense. You know, they're not going backwards to try to retread stuff, but they're just playing what they want, and they're enjoying their history. And it just fucking rocks too. That riff, I can't get over that riff. Great book. I just read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Oh, nice. I dig sci-fi. Richest Man in Babylon is my hubby's favorite. Love How to Win Friends. Read that one a few times. Yeah, it's definitely one of those books you can pull out a lot. Just read a chapter over and over again if you want. I know. I'm getting better. I'm embracing my awkwardness. That's from being on the road for so long. I just kind of have to interact with people. I think Metallica has been trying to recreate the sound for Justice for All with better mixing and mastering, but they don't have it anymore. Is there a whole album? Are you listening to? Because I don't see any other new stuff besides that song, bro. I think you're reading a little too deep into stuff. I'm not seeing. I see one song. And they definitely have it, because I just listened to that song and it's freaking incredible. So I think we may have to agree to disagree. Unless, I mean, you might have more than I have here going on. If you could recommend a not so known book, what would you recommend? Any topic? A not so known book. I don't know. Do you know Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? I don't know how well known that book is. I mean, at the time it was really well known, but good morning, Blaine. Listening to you from the sky en route to Cancun. Oh, welcome aboard Cancun Airlines. If you look out your left, you'll see the beautiful Caribbean Sea. Calm waters and bright sunshine lead to an amazing beach experience. If you look to your right, you'll see the lush landscapes of Mexico, alternating from desert to jungle, dotted with lakes and rivers, with an amazing history of culture and nature. Please throw away your trash when the people come down the aisle. Heck yeah, have fun, Krista. Have fun. Everyone feels a little awkward at times being human. Yeah. Jordan, only 6 cups. Blast for me. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is another one. Yeah, I've heard about that one. I'd be down to do that one. You guys know I'm big in the financial type of books, and not necessarily that I want to give into stupid titles, but I like the idea of hearing different people's approaches to financial literacy. Also wanted to point out they did the Taylor Swift thing and didn't do any major promo. They just dropped it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the cool thing when you've been a band, you know, for 40 years. You just put something out when you're like, all right, album's done. You make a cover, yeah, that looks good. Throw it up. I want to get to that point. Sci-fi reads like it could be real. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Phil, good morning. The Belletti looks like my grandmother's. It brings back fun childhood memories of my G, so I'm going with the 8-cup classic. Yeah. Something that stirs nostalgia and good feelings before you even put the coffee in. That's the way to go, Weege. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and that's amazing. I like to have stuff that reminds me of awesomeness or stuff that intrigues me visually and visually as well as, performance wise. I mean, it's got to work well. That's criteria number one. And then the aesthetics, definitely play a part after that, as long as it's in line with my price point. OG Metallica was my first favorite band. Love your review. He's so good. Yeah, I agree, Jacob. The album is coming. Oh, Weege, you're reviewing an album that hasn't come out yet based on one song that you said you like, but saying that they don't have it anymore. I'm so confused, bro. Unless you're referring to a previous album. Previous albums, they were trying to do all sorts of shit. They were trying to be like super modern, and then they were trying to be like super out there. I agree. I'm not a huge fan of some of the previous albums, though. There are a couple ones that were pretty decent. But yeah. You know what Metallica album I loved from back in the day was actually um, what is it? Garage Inc. from 1998. It's all covers, and it's all like their inspirations. They do a really, really good version of Tuesday's Gone and Whiskey in the Jar and Die, Die, Die. Free Speech for the Dumb is super great too. Yeah, that one. That one is not a Metallica album in the sense of Metallica album, but I really like that album. Came out of left field and it was dope. Especially because their original stuff was feeling a little stale at the time. Hello, Jesse. Hello. Oh, you got a lot of book um, book recommendations there, Jordan. Yeah, State of Wonder by Ann Patchett. Send a lot of love to the community. Sounds more like Blaine Airlines. Speaking of financial stuff, Daniel, good morning. Have you ever heard of Gary V? I don't remember that name, but it does sound a little familiar. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Ellen E. Moore, good morning. Mickey Jackson, good morning. Cheers, by the way. Garage Days is a classic. It was, right? Was it Garage Inc., right? Yeah. Yeah, because I basically, they did like Load and Reload before that, which was a couple decent tunes on that one. Like Fuel was dope. And 2x4 was cool. But yeah. S&M was kind of a cool concept, but it wasn't really, anything crazy because it was just, the concept was cool, but it was all like, other tunes and shit. And that just got weird. Agreed. Garage Band revisited. Oh, there are more. There's more Garage Band ones. I don't know. Crazy. So much going on. There's a second S&M. My friend and I trade albums back and forth. About a month ago, I finally listened to the Black album. Yeah. So the Black album came out, I believe, in 91. And it was everywhere. That the tones on that, the grooves on that, everything was just incredible. It was just beautiful. It's a beautiful mix of art and commerce. See, I got a cover of Coming Undone Bluesified. Nice. So very good. I couldn't understand it. Have a great time, Candace. Have an amazing day. Just singing everything. I like your take on the topic of posting positive encounters and good deeds on the internet. I think it's nice to share good things, so maybe other people will join in. Dirty Sisters is asking people to visit, call, send cards to senior centers for the holidays, or for musicians to go play to those in senior living. Heck yeah, Jesse. Yeah, somebody posted something on the internet, on Facebook, basically saying that a good deed that you talk about is not a good deed. Basically, if you're doing anything to help for a reason other than altruism, then you're not helping. And I mean, first of all, blanket statements are tough for me. Once somebody sets out a blanket statement, my mind automatically goes into deconstructing that blanket statement, because that's just how it works. Maybe it goes back to people telling me to do stuff when I'm a kid and using the words always or never or because, and then putting out some sort of, vague logic that works some of the time, but not all of the time. Life to me is more nuanced than that. So I wanted to, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do good stuff for people and not tell people about it. Like, there is a line there where if the only reason that you're doing good stuff is for the clout, you might be more inclined to neglect certain things or to lie about certain things. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but even if you do good things for the clout, I mean, shoot, good things still get done. So it's like, are you measuring results or are you measuring intent? And if you do something good for the clout and it feels good, and then you start doing more good stuff, the clout could just be the catalyst that spurs your life in a more socially conscious direction. And if you do stuff for the clout and the virality of something on the internet, like a viral trend, wouldn't it be better that viral trend is, feeding the homeless rather than eating Tide Pods or something? Like, if you're gonna chase for clout, shouldn't you do it by doing amazing, beautiful things or helpful things? I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot going on there, and it's nuanced, and it depends on every individual's journey and where they're at it. And if I say, yeah, I helped a hospital today, and I post a picture with somebody that I had a great conversation with, and then I get chewed out because my intentions weren't good enough, I feel like that would be demoralizing and make me not want to help out anymore. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's different. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're on a journey where you want to do stuff and you don't want anyone to know, hell yeah. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. But I mean, if you let people know, then you increase the chances that they may repeat your actions, or a small percentage of them will. Anyway, Jesse, that was kind of my overlay. But it could be the wrong take. Fifth grade with a Kill 'Em All shirt and getting suspended for it. Damn, Weege, you're getting it. Oh, Revisited was a 5-song early album. I don't remember that one. I remember Garage Inc., but I don't remember Garage Days Revisited then. I see. I'm old, but not that old, I guess. 1987. Oh, okay. Very cool. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. See, I'm learning something new, guys. You guys are schooling me. Jesse, merch plug for Blaine. Did you get your Blaine wooden ornament? One of my favorite things. Aw, Jesse, you're so sweet. Good question. DillingerMusic.com/shop. Got all sorts of cool stuff for the holidays. Kaylin. Yeah, it's not about calling people out or diminishing their views. It's about getting a conversation started, and Facebook is the place to be very abrasive in your views, and that definitely spurs a conversation. Don't get me wrong. And maybe it works better. Who am I to say? You know, it's like that whole blah blah blah, fight me, or blah blah blah, read that again, or a hot take, or unpopular opinion, and then spout. You know, if that's what works to get a conversation going, then cool. But to me, those type of statements convey an inherent disdain for others and other opinions, and that's just not my vibe. But my vibe isn't necessarily right. About to take off. Have a great day. Thank you, Cassie. Oh yeah. So okay, since Cassie spilled the beans, Cassie sent me The Alchemist. Thank you, Cassie. Like I said, I don't want to call people out for their good deeds of sending me books and stuff. Some people send me stuff and specifically request that I don't mention where I got it, and that's cool. It's appreciated no matter what. If you want to send me a book, you can always DM me for my address. You can help out of love, not just altruism. Yeah. I was having a debate with Ethan Tucker about this. Not a debate, but like, you know, a spirited conversation. And Ethan is a firm believer that you can do stuff without selfish motivation. And I am a firm believer that even unselfish things are done for selfish reasons. So like, even if I give you a present, I'm doing it because it makes me feel good to do it, not necessarily because it makes you feel good to get it. But you feeling good makes me feel good. So that is, to me, that's technically a selfish reason, which isn't a bad thing. We just gotta, like, to me, I just like to understand, you know, what's going on. Or if I do something because, you know, karma or the golden rule, it ultimately always comes back to me. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, but Ethan's is a little more spiritually oriented, even karmic returns, like, you know, that ultimately affects your afterlife or your life in general. But that's not bad. Selfish isn't necessarily bad. It's only bad when it comes at the expense of other people. When it benefits other people, I think you know, selfishness is good, because you don't want to end up a martyr for someone who doesn't appreciate you. I know a lot of people who get in horrible relationships, not just like romantic ones, but with people who use and abuse them, and they give because it's the right thing to do, but they don't, in return, they actually get nothing. The opposite of something for themselves. And I feel like that's where things can be bad. Anyway, I'm just rambling. We got deep, and I'm going to pull us out of the gutter. I'm jumping to Facebook. Got to open some apps. Get it? Help because you care, not get credit. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Phil. If you help because you care, it's still you're still getting something out of the deal. And if you don't share the help that you give, you're not necessarily encouraging anyone else to do the same, if that makes sense. It's a talk. It's a talk. And it's easier to package stuff in quotes and repeat those quotes. But it's harder to really get in the nuances of why. Do good and expect nothing. But you get stuff out of it. It may not be from that person or from the internet, but you do get stuff out of the deal. There's good intent and malicious intent. Oh, is that a song on the topic? Nice, Patrick. Metallica ended Guns N' Roses when they toured together back in the day. Hell yeah, Daniel. That must have been a hell of a show. Feel like if you do a good deed and you post to help spread awareness or help raise funds is always nice, but just sharing it to get praise isn't ideal. See, I like that approach, Kaylin. And none of these approaches are wrong. I mean, all of this is great. Obviously, where you are on your journey, right? Has a lot to do with it. And there's people who definitely go on the end of the extreme where it's all fake. It's all a show and very little actually gets done. But they just want the praise, no matter how they get it. And that feel like that attitude of the person is more important than the results in that case. Maybe not. Maybe the results are the most important thing. Maybe everyone should be super selfish and give for the clout, and then more stuff would be given. It's a tough one, guys. I'm loving all these opinions. Prince donated so much money to schools organizations, but never wanted the publicity. We only found out after his death, posthumously, that he did all that. I could see how it could be made misconstrued and why maybe he didn't want to publicize it at all. Yeah. I think in Prince's case, religion had everything to do with it. Basically, he was a staunch Jehovah's Witness, and they have very, very strict rules about all that stuff. So his reward was in heaven or within the church. But there was a perceived benefit. Garage Inc. included Garage Days Revisited. Oh, nice, Phil. You are teaching me so much on this early Metallica. Thank you. Hell yeah. Kaylin's got all the wood ornaments. Yes. Facebook is a blessing and a curse. Agreed, Kaylin. Agreed. No room for self-validation in selfless acts, but they're not selfless acts, are they? That's the question. I know. It's the tough question. And I love that now we're all thinking about it, especially in the holidays. So I'm not mad at it. And I'm not saying anyone's wrong. I'm just saying the issue might be deeper if you think about it than a blanket statement. That was my original intent, which I was not even going to bring up on this thing, but thank you guys for dragging me back into this debate, which I've had 3 times. I think it's the season. I think it's the holiday season is when we really reflect on our motives and the motives of others and what charity actually is. When I'm in a position to help people, I will publicize it if they want me to with their permission, as long as it's not lip service, because it could help others. Heck yeah. Facebook is just a toxic place. I literally only come to Facebook to drop promos, watch your Coffee with Blaine lives, and watch Sunshine Show. I'm very selfish on Facebook lately. I just don't have the energy for contrarian toxic culture. Yeah. It's you know, it's an interesting concept. I mean, it's nice to have the place for connection, but the concept of anonymity can tend to make people more abrasive to each other, rather than trying to find a common ground. A lot of the worst part of communities would necessarily thrive in the worst or the biggest community being online. Is it selfish or a way of showing love? Is it both? Is love selfish? Would you want to love someone that like treated you poorly? Some people do. I think it's as individualized as everyone's brain and where they are on their journey. I'd probably call the less of selfishness, and just self-love. I feel good when I help other people. That definitely is self-love as much as it is forever. It purifies my soul to help others. Exactly. I think when people talk about selfishness, they talk about selfishness in the vein of like when it's a threshold, right? Like when you're selfish, that's the point where you put yourself when others get put out because of your actions. But technically selfishness, I guess, to me is more of like thinking of yourself and putting yourself on equal footing with other people and doing things that benefit yourself and the other person. I don't know. Good morning, Dylan. You walked into a landmine. Watch your step. Yeah. I'm not saying that. Yeah, and I like that. It purifies your soul. It's a good feeling. It makes you, feel better to know that you help somebody else, and that's good. That's a good selfish motivation or a self-identifying motivation. I think maybe the word just triggers people. Maybe that's it. Gabba Groove, good morning. Can't wait to see you Saturday for an amazing show. Desert Fish, the Resonators, and the Rhythms in Tucson. Patrick with the song lyrics. Humility is what we do when no one is watching. Hey, I don't know what you want to. I don't want to know what you do when no one's watching. 100% agree. Never looked at it from this perspective before. I'm loving looking at it from different lenses. Heck yeah, Jordan, that's awesome. Yeah, it's not about and you may search through everything and you like exactly where you stand, and what you're saying may be right the entire time. It's just when we use words, obviously those words can mean slightly different things. It's not black and white. So when someone says something specifically, you can kind of look beyond the word that they use into what they actually mean, and maybe that's where the communication breaks down. If you give without expectations, then what comes back is a gift to you. The universe delivers. See, the universe delivers. You're expecting a cosmic delivery for your good deeds. Not from the person, but you're still expecting something in return. We just have to help where we can and live out this crazy dream together. Scammers always come to light over time. Yeah, scamming is a totally different thing. I'm 100% in that boat, Like that's awful. You should not be doing that. Love and light, bitches. A quote from Megan Richardson's. That's amazing. Richardson. I don't know why I pluralized that. My brain is popped in the best way. Let's talk about aliens. No, we're at an hour now, guys, and I have shit to do. I would love to have a philosophical dialogue with you. I'm not a very philosophical person, but I do like talking to people. I do like getting perspectives. I do like looking at those perspectives. So, I mean, I'm always down to listen. I don't think my perspective is necessarily right. I have more questions than answers, mainly. That's why I generally try to stay away from making those types of statements in the first place, at the expense of growing my views and fan base. I thought you majored in music, not philosophy. I did not. I would have much better ideas if I did. Wish them all the best. That's all you can do. I think Discord is better than Facebook. People are more focused on the topics and actual unity. I joined the Collie Buds Discord and you'll see zero toxicity. Just cool ass people helping each other, talking music, content, and ganjas, and NFTs. Yeah, I think when you limit the scope of something, you get a lot more benefit than when it's basically open season in your eye holes. That's what I like about Reddit as well. Like when I scroll Reddit, I never scroll the popular. I just scroll my home, and I type in the interested topics that I have, and those are my subreddits that I choose. And for the most part, you get a lot less unwanted things, or things that aren't helpful, or information overload, so to speak. I haven't really used Discord, but I'm assuming that it's similar. I don't think getting something out of it means being selfish. Yeah. And that's where we go back to the definition of the word, right? Maybe my definition is overly, maybe my definition is wrong. I mean, we could go look it up, because there's two definitions of something, right? Or more. There's like the textbook definition, and then there's the popular connotation, which if we use a word differently in slang, it can mean a slightly different thing than the actual definition. You know, people use words wrong all the time, so much so that eventually the definition changes because we're using a word differently. So right there's a definition. Concerned chiefly or excessively with oneself, and having little regard for others. That would be the definition of selfish. I'm not sure which definition that is, but looking out for yourself or wanting to feel good is not something I would consider to be selfish, but it is a self-driving motivation, right? So when you do stuff, you're also doing it for yourself. You might be doing it for yourself and for others, which is great. That's how I like to operate. But where I take questions, where I start to question things, is when people try to divorce themselves from the thing they did, even though yourself is a primary driver, not the only driver, but a primary driver in those decisions. Dropping knowledge bombs. There is no self-gratifying isn't always selfish. And I can see that, Phil. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. When if we take selfish at the expense of others, then yeah. But going back to the original topic, doing something and then posting that you have done something doesn't satisfy that requirement of disregarding others, right? Because you've done something for others, but you also did it for yourself, whether that reason be love or cosmic retribution or religion or clout. Those are all self-motivations to do good to others to create win-win situations. I'm going to send my therapy bill to Blaine. This is let's all collectively blame Jesse for this, because I just wanted to play Metallica riffs and say thank you for my cool gifts. There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. Yeah, just a great quote. Wonderful serendipity that happens from selfless giving is pretty rad. But it's not selfless giving, Daniel, right? If you have that wonderful serendipity, that's a self-motivation. Kalibud Discord is fire! I'm going to make a selfish post-coffee doo-doo. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to end this conversation. I love these conversations, and I appreciate everyone's opinion. And yeah, it's cool. James 3:17 to marinate. Beth. Yeah, see? That's another aspect, is the religious aspect. To reap your heavenly rewards. Maybe it holds the power of our own perception. I want to be selfless. So selfish sounds negative to me. But do you really want to be selfless? That's the other question. So everything, like, you crave a good relationship, you crave a stable job, maybe you crave a comforting place that you own, you crave a voice to be shared, you crave all of these things. Those are all self things, and they're not selfless. You're doing them because they make you feel like a complete person. They make you feel good. I feel like the concept of wanting to be selfless uh, could be the concept of wanting to, you know, basically commit suicide because you don't want to be a self anymore, like, or having no free will. You want to be a cog in the machine. I don't know. I'm literally spitballing here. So, like, these are all just questions, right? Like, don't you want a concept of an identity of your own that you can share in a positive way with others? I like the idea of me personally. I like being me. I like being comfortable. I like good coffee and good food. I like feeling happy, and helping out others makes me feel happy. Um, yeah. So interesting. Goblin mode was added to the dictionary. This is very self-indulgent behavior. Uh, yeah, it's these are just questions, and by no means am I ever uh, advocating the S word. That was just the most extreme example of selflessness I could think of, because you at that point you no longer have an identity, right? Uh, I feel also like the concept of, like, the other S word, where you subjugate a people. That's where selflessness comes into fact too, because you don't at that point have an identity. You're just a number. You're just a cog in the machine. You're in the matrix. Um, it's a tough one, guys. This is tough. This is deep. But I mean, it's good that we're able to have these ideas and talk about them in a space where, we're not yelling at each other. We're not calling other people wrong. Like I said, it's just a lot of it's semantics. Like, what does this word actually mean? And what do you actually mean when you say this phrase? You know what I mean? Just communication. Same thing when I'm talking music to somebody and I'm like trying to explain to them what I'm playing. And if I use the wrong words, they'll play the wrong chord because they have a different idea of what those words mean. All right. I'm afraid to look at these comments here. Fully agree about the incentive to feel good. That is not bad, and we should not be against it. Yeah, I exactly 100%. Sometimes help is done out of obligation too. Yeah, yeah. Um, not self-gratification and not selfish is quite interesting, and I definitely agree about abundant nuance. Yeah, but obligation is, I mean, I would assume that there's some selfish motivations and obligations, right? Because you want to remain a part of this group, you want to remain a part of your church, you want to remain a part of your community, you want to stay out of jail. um so I feel like, yeah, even if you go down a couple layers, you're there. Kaylin, these conversations are always fun. Samantha, some great food for thought today. Phil, the concern is more with the needs and wants of others. That is selfless. Is it more so? Right? That's the thing. And that's internal. And why you want those people to have more stuff or more opportunities. Is it because you wish you had those opportunities when you were in those positions? So you pay it forward? Is that also not a weird form of self gratification? Good morning, Devin. Daily goals. I have a list today. I will get through it, but yeah. Oh, Patrick. Oh, Patrick. You cannot be selfless 100% of the time. An action or behavior might be selfless. I don't think so. Unless it's forced, in which case the motivation is self-preservation. I think there's always something to be gained in the self. But that's just me. And I think that right there is the essence of the conversation and where everybody draws that line and why the blanket statement initially spurred all of the questions that I had in the Facebook post. Right, Phil? Yeah. Like I going through the dictionary definition of selfish is slightly different from my connotation of selfish, where I was saying that selfishness is the idea of doing stuff with having yourself in mind. Most, in my opinion, probably as much as in some form or another as with another person or community. But selfish, the definition actually says at the expense of someone else or the community. So, yeah, with that, I learned something new for sure. You and Ethan going deep. He's a good dude. He's a very good dude. We had a couple really great conversations with this. I love this community for so many reasons, but the main reason is we all get along and can have different opinions and still talk about it without ripping each other's throats out. Yeah. I mean, we could do that too. Octagon, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. He who screams the loudest wins. I don't know. Well, your concern with what people think about you is a self thing because you want to be portrayed in whatever way you want to be portrayed. So that is definitely self first, in my opinion. Stupid OCD. This is deep. You're going to love the Florence Scovel Shin book. Heck yeah. Love all. I'm out of here. My sister is having a baby. Congratulations, Samantha. And I'm out of here too, I think, because I need more coffee and a recharge after all of this information that has so graciously been shared with me. So many book reviews, so many gifts, so many great opinions. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for spending so much time chatting with me. And I hope we all learned a little something. Because what else you can do on a Wednesday morning in December? All right. Now, for my selfish plug, if you want to join and get more content and more cool things and access to stuff early or at a discount, and et cetera, please check out patreon.com/DillingerMusic. If you want to help spur me to be able to do these more often, please go to coffee.com/DillingerMusic and sponsor my cup of coffee. All of this helps me to be able to do this and cover the expenses of stuff like Restream and the internet and the equipment to be able to, and the time it takes to do this. So thank you guys. Lastly, I got some new merch hanging out at the website. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that helps a lot too. Appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for all of that. And results and outcomes do matter. That's a good ending sentence. We'll just say that. Results and outcomes do matter. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. And